Slide 63, Lesson 4, Examples of the Aleph Tav, unclean food. In Leviticus chapter 11, verses 4 to 7, we have a list of food that is unclean, food that we're not allowed to eat. And the Aleph Tav is used to point to which animals that we are not allowed to eat. So here they are here. Here's what we are not to eat. We're not to eat Hagamal, the camel, Hashafan, Ha'arnevet, and Ha-Chazir. So the Aleph Tav is in front of those words, the names of those animals that we're not allowed to eat. So the verb, the doing word in red, for example, lo tochlu, not you shall eat, is followed by the Aleph Tav that points to the noun, in this case, gamal. So here's the verb here, lo tochlu, not you shall eat. And here is the noun, gamal, with the Aleph Tav in front of it. So we're not allowed to eat camels. And what else are we not allowed to eat? We're not allowed to eat the shafan. It's either a rabbit or some sort of animal like that. And we're not allowed to eat it ha-arnevet. The just means and. The it ha-arnevet and the arnevet, which is some sort of rodent-like creature. And we're not allowed to eat this little fellow here, Ha-Chazir, and that is a pig. In this case, we have a flying pig, but in any case, we're not allowed to eat these creatures. And the Aleph Tav is sitting in front of the noun, telling us that we're not to eat this particular thing. So if we read this verse in Hebrew, Ach et ze lo tochlu. Ach means only, this not you shall eat. Ach et ze lo tochlu. Ma'alei hagira, from those that chew the cud. Mafrise ha parsa, and that have split hooves. And what are those things that we're not to eat? Et ha gamal. And why? Because ki ma'alei gira hu farsa ayanenu mafris tamehu lachem. And this means, for it chews the cud, but it does not have split hooves. It is unclean for you. Now, that's interesting. So the camel is unclean. It chews the cud, but it doesn't have split hooves. And this has spiritual meaning as well. Chewing the cud is like chewing the Word of God, which is a good thing. We need to chew the cud, but we also need to have split hooves, apparently. Ve'et hashafan ki ma'ale girahu ufarsa lo yifris tamehu lechem. And the rabbit, hashafan, ki ma'ale girahu, because it does chew the cud, but again it doesn't have split hooves. Ufarsa lo yifris tamehu lechem. And the arnavet, ve'et ha'arnevet, ki ma'alat gira, for it chews the cud, but and farsa lo hafrisa, but it does not have split hooves. Again, it is tamea. It is unclean. He, lachem. Lachem means to you or for you. He means she. Because Hebrew names of animals are either he's or she's. This one's called a she, if you like. Okay, and the last one, the pig, ve'et hachazir, ki mafris parsahu, it has split hooves, v'shosa shesa parsa, v'hu gira lo yaga, but it doesn't chew the cud. It is unclean. Tamehu lachem. It's unclean. We need to chew the word of God. We can't be just people that just accept whatever someone says or whatever the preacher says. We need to examine things for ourselves. We need to chew the word over. But these rules do refer also to physical things that we're not allowed to eat. We shouldn't just understand verses spiritually and forget what it's physically telling us to do. But we shouldn't just do these things physically without beginning to think of what the law is perhaps trying to say. The Apostle Paul tells us that the law is spiritual. And so this is in the law, in the Torah, the first 5 books of the Bible. It's spiritual. It's telling us physical things that we shouldn't eat. And that's as true today as it was when it was written. These things are unclean, and we shouldn't be eating them. But these unclean foods are telling us a story also about what's clean and unclean spiritually.